I'm reaching out to all my brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Fire Radio.
1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment.
Ananielewa zaidi, ananijua na nikinuna anatuliza, ananibembeleza, roho inatulia, ananiambia mimi namwamini, hatuna siri tunaendana shilingi kwa pili na sio siri, upendo raha kwanza na wewe, upendo
You're now listening to the best music. All day, every day.
And I'm reaching out to all my brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Fire Radio. Sana ni tamu tena sana, ina donjo inatonjo vibaya. Amini usiamini, ni Kristo alipenda mwingine. Nikiwa na yeye haunipati, na nikiwa na yeye haunipati, na nikiwa na yeye itapati, nikiwa na yeye hakutaki, na nikiwa na yeye sikutaki.
One hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment. You're now listening to the best music.
Zaituni over there with Tamu Tenor-san. I hope you're having a beautiful, beautiful Wednesday. Welcome to another conversation here with me. My name is Iritan Longoria. Welcome to the Black Hot 5 Radio Network, media of the 21st century. Remember, you can download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackhot5radionetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, upper clothing with the Black Hot 5 Radio logo on it. My fave of this month is the beetroot. It helps to lower blood pressure, and also it can help you lose your weight naturally. Also, remember, you can download our app on the Google Play Store. For the ones who are getting us live on TikTok, thank you. Also, you can follow the live creator for more news and updates that we always do have here on the Black Hot 5 Radio Network, media of the 21st century. Before I move forward with the conversation of the day, which is entitled Ignorance is a Choice in This Time and Age. Also, we'll have a conversation, also a reminder of what Natalie Dam actually talked about, or what she was actually warning us about. Remember, she said that the France president is coming for Eastern and Southern Africa in the year 2026. And we saw the president did visit Spain France a couple of months ago, right? And remember before that, Natalie Yam talked about the fact that Mr. Macron is going to come to Kenya. And I'm going to play that video to help us understand what they do. You know what actually these people do when they actually invade a country, actually come in as, investors and everything that they say, as a military to come and protect us because we need protection. But on all of this, they're looting and actually taking away that belongs to Africa. Also, we'll have a conversation about how to find your truth, and that's an African theology by the one and only Joshua Maponger here. Also, a very interesting conversation about that former U.S. military officer relocates and settles in Kenya. We'll actually get to find out why she had to relocate to settle in Kenya. This is a former U.S. military individual. But before that, I will definitely share a video of some of the supplements we do have on our website to give you a niche of what you should definitely be expecting.
Beetroot, nature's powerhouse, packed with vitamins, antioxidants, and nitrates, it's known to support heart health, boost stamina, and improve blood circulation. Our beetroot is naturally grown and harvested at peak ripeness. The roots are cleaned, dried, and finely ground to preserve their rich nutrition content, giving you all the benefits in one pure form. Add 1 teaspoon of beetroot powder to your juice, smoothie, or water, or take it in capsule form as recommended by your healthcare provider. Beetroot helps enhance endurance, lower blood pressure, and keep you feeling energized and balanced all day. Fuel your body with the natural power of beetroot. Stay strong, stay healthy. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
$20.90 will get yourself beetroot to help you lower blood pressure and also help you to naturally lose some weight. Thank you everybody for joining us live on TikTok. I can see Jill's JM Mark and Maruk here. How are you doing? Welcome. For those who don't know my name is Iritan Longoria on Let's Talk with Iritan. And today's conversation is ignorance is a choice in this time and age. I can see that. Mostly I can actually put that in 2 factors. For the ones who are actually always super curious to learn, to better themselves, because you find and try and seek knowledge. So everything is out there to learn and relearn. But if you're not really interested, I believe you might be considered somebody who just follows the crowd because you don't really know what's really happening. And you just follow the time and tides of what is actually happening in the season. But in regards to the technology that we do have right now, everything is out there. Mostly about the African identity, African history, colonization, modern colonization right now, neo-colonization right now, what's really happening. It's out there in your face. And if you're not really interested to relearn and learn, that's on you. Because we are in an awakening season or time that I can say. Nature is going back to its natural cause. So if you're not somebody who questions things, if you're not somebody who wants to relearn and learn, everything will just pass you by. But in this time and age, ignorance is a choice. There's some things you should definitely be able to know. Like right now, it's super hard. I can say it will be so hard for most of the Africans to be colonized again because the majority are super woke. The majority are questioning each and everything that is happening, mostly politically, economically. People understand that they deserve better. People understand that we are the most wealthiest nation of all time. And people are questioning the fact that why are we struggling? Why are we impoverished? And that's why we go back to the same ladder of leaders who actually know what's really happening, but their agenda actually in this position is to keep you and I, impoverished, blind, subjugated with lies and control, so that they can always be in this position to squander, take over, and then another puppet comes up. It's like a cycle. I can see Petite Black Goddess. How are you doing? Always love that name. Welcome again to another conversation here with me. But before that, I'm going to play a video actually talking about the fact that ignorance is a choice in this time and age. And also how we can deconstruct the theology of the white Messiah and decolonizing Christianity. But before that, I would definitely play this video.
When Eurocentric religion comes to Africa, they are not fighting over economy and business. They are fighting over the God of the Africans. When Eurocentric religion comes to Africa, they are not fighting over economy and business. They are fighting over the God of the Africans. And because your God did not protect you against yourself, How can your God be stronger than the white Jesus that you've accepted as your personal savior? The iconography of a white Messiah with blue eyes and blonde hair looks like the colonizer. That's why the African can't fight a white man right now, because he looks like Jesus.
And it actually makes sense. That has always been the trick of everything because it goes back to the fact that if you question anything, why would you question anything that, this race is actually telling you? Because you know what? Jesus looks like this. So why would you question whatever we tell you in regards to your political, economic, social sectors? Because you know what? The creator doesn't lie and he came in this form. So why should you question what we do? We are always right. That was actually, I give it to them, literally. That was a good path. But we also know how a lot of foreigners do things. If they want to actually try something out, they're going to go to a specific land or whatever they want to envision in that specific area. Experiment, learn, and mostly learn how people live, how they do their things, how they socialize, and then they're gonna experiment whatever idea they have.
Religion is a foreplay to colonialism. By accepting a colonial iconography of an adulterated Eurocentric perception of a Messiah, it weakens your fight as an African to colonial system. What am I saying? Jesus is colonized. He only appeared 500 years ago, etymologically. The word J, the letter J, only appears on the alphabet 500 years ago. Jesus was born 1,500 years earlier, and J was not there. Will you be offended if I tell you that Jesus never heard that name being called on him as a young boy? Actually, the name Jesus does not appear in the whole Bible until the Romans adulterate Hahusha, Yeshua, Yahoshua into the Jesus, who is the son of Zeus, who is the Roman concept of a son of God. You tell a modern Christian in the 2000 generation that by accepting Jesus, you are accepting Romanism. They get offended because Christianity has become an identity and it occupies the deeper side of you. You ask me a question. Where are we? And how do we process these things? It's because the African, by default, had his history stolen and rewritten by the colonialists, who then shipped back to him his own theology, but in Eurocentric construct. Then you find people kissing an idol of Mary. You find people kneeling in front of idols. You find crosses of a Jesus, a white Jesus, being carried in the necks of the prophet. When the same Bible says, don't make yourself any Christian image of anything in heaven, on earth, or underneath the earth, but the Catholic system has managed to draft, design images which have become emblems of faith. So when the white man does it, he's justified because he looks like Jesus. When the black man challenges it, he's a demon.
Thank you, God, the good. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for joining the live. That was a very funny comment. But yes, you can definitely join the show anytime.
If I could use your very same Bible to challenge what you believe, most of you go offended. Because if I say Jesus is not this one, because the Bible says, don't make it, there's no one who took a selfie.
I believe we should definitely question things. And I feel sometimes I know religion tells you not to question things, but why would you not question it? You know, it's a free world. It is a free world. I believe it's up to you to know what's right, what's wrong according to you, and actually question things. But if we live in a society, we're actually already controlled as a continent. And then we go back to religion where you can't question things. Is it not a form of dictatorship in a way? Like, does religion equals to dictatorship if you actually ask yourself that question?
With Jesus. That Michelangelo boy who is gay, a fagot from Rome, cannot represent what Christianity is all about. But sentimentally, the African feels he is obliged to be kissing idols.
It's so true because since you can actually understand the fact that, or since you knew you were an adult, let's take a look at that. The day you started going to school, the day you started, knowing what is right, what is wrong, having the understanding of things in this life. There's a way we're programmed to do things, to live, to socialize. And if you can actually look back, as Africans, we've always been told we're not enough. And not directly, because obviously, if I tell you that directly that you're not enough, you're not going to take it, right? But it's in the form of education, right? Religion, um, beauty, cosmetics, and in the beauty sector. Everything in the mainstream media. Talk about movies, talk about songs. It has always downgraded the African culture, the African tradition, the African identity. Because obviously you cannot actually take it when someone just comes at you and tells you like, hey, you're not enough, you're not good enough, you're not as beautiful, you're not as good as you think. But they had to look at ways and strategies how they can actually implement these things. And they use the educational system very well. They use the media very well. They use the beauty industry very well. Also, in the form of the little dolls that we buy for our children. They've used all these sectors to actually build that perspective into your mindset and actually tell you that you're not enough and tell you that actually after you finish your educational system, this is not enough. You should actually leave your own country or your own continent and come at least feel better about yourself if you move to this other side of the continent. But honey, Africa is the most wealthiest nation of all time with the most intelligence or intelligent people in the whole world. Take it or leave it. It's a fact.
To please the white man.
So why would you leave the country that is actually holding the pillars of this world?
I say to hell. And by the way, Jesus and the devil, same WhatsApp group. Because you don't have those names in your own African languages. When you find those names, then come back and talk to me. Let's talk. If you want to become spiritual, if you want to become classic, academic, and practical, don't use idolatry as a departure for perception and conception. Mercenaries and missionaries had dinner every evening. And churches, as I said, they're brothel of the sodomy of African culture.
But history tells us that as Africans, we were pagans. Before Christianity was brought to Africa, we were worshipping demons and witchcraft and all these things. Is that true?
All African, when you pick up the book, by the way, there's a chapter I put there for African names of God in the African space. And when you get to that chapter, you discover that African traditional religions are all monotheistic. uNkulunkulu, uMvelinqangi, Mudimu, Ramasedi, Ngari, Gainyame, on all those names. They don't talk of a plural God. When the white men found an African kneeling under a tree in prayer, they said he's worshiping a tree. There's no African religion that teaches Africans to worship their forefathers and their ancestors. Ancestors are a historical connecting cable to the creation that happened.
And also, I can understand the fact that during the transatlantic slave trade, our people were actually forced to actually, take this religion, and it was super violent, right? And also, the fact that people actually accepted this religion, why did they not question it? Because it was actually perpetuated into the same or to the next generation. And we were told, do not question this, just follow this and just live with it accordingly. But we're going to put a pause on that as we go back to the main conversation. I was just introducing us to that concept of why ignorance is a choice in this time and age.
Now, how do we as Africans think that by switching off the light of knowledge and information, continuous eating of these rotten
Because you're
apples
gonna taste the
will
words.
make
It
them
won't help
healthy?
you.
So in my own thing, guys, we may as well just switch on the lights, because apparently when you change your focus and way of thinking, people actually think you don't even deserve to live, you don't deserve to make money.
It's so true, because everybody is programmed to follow and accept things. Everybody is programmed to just, follow whatever everybody else is doing. Everybody is programmed to say yes to mediocrity and a comfortable life. Let me actually talk about that. Everybody is programmed not to think out of the box.
You don't.
When you do that, you seem crazy, because like, what are you saying? This is how we've been living our life. This is how we've been actually, doing things. So when you come and start questioning whatever that has always seemed comfortable, it makes you see the other person as that they're actually losing it, but they're thinking out of the box.
Deserve respect simply because you have changed the way you think. I'm not asking for too much. I just want to be. I'm asking for being. That's all. And if there's anything that we can do to each other, it is not to demonize each other because we cannot speak to each other. And how does God give us brains, and then at the end of the day, He does not allow us to use the same brains?
Right? How can the Creator give you brains, or how can He not give you something and not question it? Right? The fact that you have it is because He wants you to talk to Him and question everything that comes your way. Welcome everybody joining me live on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute, TikTok. I can see Happy African Atheist. How you doing? I can see Anelka. What's good? My name is Iritan Longoria, and let's pop with Iritan. Always talking about redefining Africa as we redefine ourselves. And today's conversation is ignorance is a choice in this time and age, because technology. And maybe if you're really an open-minded person, if you're someone who questions things, and I'm telling you, if the student is ready, the messenger will appear. So, hey, is it a choice or not? Let me know. Is ignorance a choice or not in this time and age?
And what are they here for? Yeah, that's a good question. Because then the Bible is the word of God, or the Bible contains the word of God. But the one who has interfered with the text now has the intention with the text. The one who has edited the text, they have the intention with that edition.
Happy African, you're saying ignorance is definitely a choice. I definitely agree with you. But why would you say that? Let me know.
So you can no longer say you have received the message from your father in its purity. But yes, you have received a letter from your father. But it is
Preparations. How you doing? I definitely texted you right now. I thought you were joining me, girl. You're saying emancipate ourselves from mental slavery. I saw what was really happening in Ghana. If you want me to actually invite you to the show or reparation, just let me know and we'll have a very good conversation. But I hope you're queening in Ghana.
now
Edited
contaminated.
version.
So what if it is now giving you wrong directions as to where your inheritance is? Because the one who was carrying the letter decided to move. Now, how would you find slaves obey your masters?
Happy African is saying with cognitive dissonance, all men just chose to defend lies. That's a good one. That's a good one.
All these Roman laws that are actually being kept in the text, and they're supposed to be read as Bible verses. No, slaves, obey your masters as you obey Jesus. Did you watch this program called The Weakest Link?
I used to watch it.
You watch The Weakest Link? Our weakest link right now are our academic professional pastors. Ask me why. They have become the custodians of the rotten system, because now they're the beneficiaries on top of the program. They cannot change it.
How are you doing, Rainbow Junior? How are you doing? What's good? You're also saying, I'm happy African. You're saying the available information is enough to eradicate ignorance, right? Because everything is out there on social media. And right now, we do have everybody talking about the African history, African identity. Oh my gosh, even AI knows about the African history, knows about the African identity. So you cannot say that we've not, I can say we were not taught, and that's okay. But all this information literally is in front of you. It's literally 1 second away from you. And Rainbow Juma, is that how? Okay, who are you? But how are you doing? Thank you for joining us. Happy African is saying you can choose to oppose the truth. Just know the truth doesn't care. You can choose to oppose the truth, but just know the truth doesn't care. I definitely agree with that. You're a smart one.
Because their retirements are now included in those lies. So senior pastors right now cannot challenge the same faith, because that's what is paying. How do you destroy a system that is paying your bills? The first law of the table, when you have food in your mouth, don't talk.
Okay.
So if you have Jesus here or the Messiah here, and then every disciple that is with him decides to write the gospel, each one of them writes the gospel as they experienced the Messiah.
So let's use the Bible as an example. Are you writing a book, or are you writing another version of the Bible where the Bible according, or the gospel according to Maponga, will start from Genesis to Revelation, or is it just a book of Joshua, for example?
Is Matthew a Bible? Is John a Bible?
No, it's a book in the Bible.
It's a book in the Bible. So I'm writing my book,
Okay.
which will be included in the annals of history. Your children, when they read it, they will understand.
How far are you, and what is informing
We've done
this book?
117 chapters so far.
What is informing it?
I wake up in the night and I sit and I download information and I write.
Okay. You download information. So now this would be Maponga's book being in.
Because you're meditating, and the creator is actually, dropping all this nuggets of information to you regarding everything, because you're questioning stuff. If you question things, everything is available to you. Everything that you need, everything that you want, it's here. But if you don't ask question, nothing will be presented in front of you, right? Honestly, you can actually try it right now. Ask any question about something you're always curious about, or you're in doubt of in regards to life, God, the creator, anything that you want. I'm telling you, if you're super alert, the answer will be presented to you. How are you doing, Roman and Sally's? You actually missed Joby's show. It was an hour prior. Yeah, she's around. You just missed her time.
Formed by other scholars or other writers, not necessarily Maponga's experience.
Is the way I'm interacting with politics, with economics, and the Christian space. And I sit around and I apply my mind to issues. And then I begin to have an interaction with.
But definitely, guys, stay tuned. From next week, we'll have really, really amazing guests on the show. Like really, really mind-blowing, spectacular, intelligent guests on the show.
Myself, and I'm downloading that content from my DNA.
When can we expect it to be published?
It's already. I've created a blog with it, which is already flying.
Okay.
So every 2-3 days, you see I'm posting a chapter there.
Okay.
And as I'm going, so by the day I die, then my kids will take those books and bind them together, and then that will be a Bible for the next
Is
generation.
it under Farmers of Thought?
Under Farmers of Thought,
That
yes.
blog.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you stand with the Bible?
Ronnie, how are you doing? I can see your comment over there. Do you mind to elaborate more on that? I'm following what you're saying. Do you mind elaborating more on that?
I asked you this question: is it an infallible word of God? Where do you stand with the Bible? Maybe don't use the words that I'm using.
Joshua McPonger, when he started asking questions, and when he used to be a bishop, and then he's not a bishop right now, people actually started naming him controversial because he was thinking out of the box, and he started questioning everything that he was doing. You know.
But where do you stand with the Bible?
Maybe it's a very beautiful
So you're asking who is giving him the download? The creator. Do you believe there's a creator? Ronnie, do you believe there's like a God? Do you believe in that? Let me know.
question. The real question must be, where does the Bible stand with me?
No.
I'm coming.
Please answer what I'm asking.
Yes, where do I stand with the Bible? It's better asked, where do I stand in the Bible? Where does the Bible stand with me? Because by saying so, I want to find the relevance of my life within the text itself.
Okay.
Like you just put it right
Alrighty. Good. That's okay. That's okay, Ronnie.
now that Uriah Smith could interpret the whole prophecy based on their own understanding. But as a theologian, I'll assist you.
You're saying you do believe there's a creator. Okay, that's okay.
Chapter 19, chapter 18, chapter 20, 21, and 22 of the book of Isaiah talk about the slavery of the black people being shipped to lands afar, and their women being stripped and men walking with bare buttocks. Is there. Then you read all of it, including Deuteronomy chapter 28. By the time you're finishing chapter 20, 21 of Isaiah, then there is a good news. Therefore the redeemed of the Lord shall return. They shall come back. I'll take you away to a far land, but I'll bring you back to this land again, and etc. There's no other nation that was moved in ships and boats,
Where,
including
who
the
are
Jews
these people?
themselves.
Where were they moved from? And where were they
From
moved
Africa
to?
into America, into the Caribbean, into Britain. And then the same Bible actually goes on to say, but I'll bring you back to your land. Beautiful prophecies. But because of the Eurocentric Christianity, that does not see a black man in the text, these prophecies are never spoken about. We are told that Jesus is coming again. How can Jesus come back again before repatriation and reparation if these promises will not be fulfilled? Then the Bible is a lie.
So is the gospel according to Maponga touching on those issues?
That I think what I've just shared with you right now is chapter 3, chapter 4. Yes. Who are the chosen nation?
The gospel is linked to
Africa is the chosen nation, baby. Like 100%.
this is my understanding, is linked to Christianity.
No. It's not linked to
My
Christianity. The word
understanding.
gospel, actually,
Okay.
good news, is a military word
Okay.
in the Roman space. When you go to war and you fight, when you win the battle, then one person is chosen to run back to the village, if you've watched the Spartans, with the news that the battle has been won.
Oh, is that the
That's where
gospel?
marathon comes from.
Okay.
That marathon, that 41 kilometers,
Yes.
it was actually running with the news that women start preparing the food and prepare for the festives. For the battle that we've been fighting has been won. So when Christianity poaches this word and saying we have the gospel, the question I'm asking, have we won the war on land? Have we won the war on poverty? What news do we have to take?
That's a good question. Yeah, in regards to everything we're always talking about, redefining Africa, taking back everything that has been eroded away from you, basically reclaiming back our land, reclaiming back our political sector, social, economic sector. We have to reclaim that. We have to be an independent nation as Africa. We have to actually have conscious leaders in these particular positions. Because right now, I believe it's because of the leaders that we do have in this position. That's why we are actually where we are as a nation. I'm telling you, because most of this leader conversation we're having with Mr. Newsom, you saw a video of an African leader or African leaders talking about the fact that it's actually super easy to manipulate the people that we're air quotes leading. They know people will listen to what they're being told. They know people need a word of hope. They know people need, it's going to be better. Tomorrow is going to be a better day. Better days are coming, honey. So do not worry. We are here to actually bring that to you. But these particular leaders, they know whatever you tell them, they will follow because they're ignorant, because they don't question things. Whatever we'll tell them, they'll just follow along and do whatever we need to tell them until, drum rolls, the Gen Z generation arose. The chosen ones, I can say, because they question, they are watching, they are actually ready to take over. Because however this regime is going to decide on the next political agenda is how the next generation will actually be administered, you know? So I believe those people really understand what's really happening right now. You know, you're standing there for yourself and for the next generation. It's not a joke, it's not a hype. It's a very serious thing because we understand there is a scramble for Africa right now. There is an urban scramble for Africa. They're not going to come with swords and all these things as they did. They will come as your besties, you know? That's how they will come. That's how they've been coming.
Back to the people that are in the communities, that we can say we have the gospel.
Is your gospel going to help us accomplish those? Fight poverty?
It is not the only thing, it's a contribution.
Get the law, the land?
It's a contribution. I'm giving you the software. Because if you don't control the software between your 2 ears, you can't control the software between your legs and the software underneath your feet. Therefore, thinking becomes critical. And when a face is beautiful, as of cosmetic beauty of a country, and the software, which is the brain and power and leadership, is not working, the resources underneath our feet will always suffer.
Have you answered my question? Where do you stand with the Bible?
Where does the Bible stand with me?
I don't know.
And I don't know also. I don't until I find myself in the text. Hence I was giving the book of Isaiah. Until I find myself in the text as to what does God say about Africa. You cannot tell me that the whole prophecies of Daniel and Revelation has nothing to say about Africa. It's about Europe, it's about America.
You are the one that studied.
There you are,
theology.
You are the one harassing me.
You are the one that read these books. You are the one that did theology.
When we were asking these questions, what were we told? You will find the answers. When you started your interview very well, the frustration you are experiencing now, that's my frustration. That how do we now rewrite the whole writings of Adventism, for example, to rewire the entire prophecies?
So there you have it. Tatu Maponga is a frustrated man with a lot of questions. I'm trying to think now. You can't carry on with your frustration. I wouldn't want to carry on with the frustration. Is that frustration what drove you to where you are right now? Where you are is what I've seen from your Facebook posts, where you don't want to be called Bishop, where you do not want to be addressed as sir, where you do not want, or you are advising Christians not to follow you. Let's touch on those 3 points. Why are you leaving the title of Bishop? I think you touched on it when we were starting.
My journey, my inquiry, my questions, and my experiences, which are now crisscrossing between a barrage or multiple religious expressions. The Christian community feels like I'm bringing the church, the body of Christ, into disarray. And with that understanding, I thought it was just polite that my growth does not impair or impede the greater societal frustration already. With me being one of them and being asking these questions, it almost makes me look like I've become the Antichrist in the midst of it. But I cannot be an Antichrist to myself. I owe it myself to grow. So with that reason in mind, I thought I would pack.
He said it like live and direct. When you ask questions, it means you're smart. You're curious about how things run, what's really happening. But if you don't ask questions, it means you're really comfortable with everything that is being told to you, right? It's good to ask questions. And ignorance is a choice in this time and age. And I had a guest with me actually affirming what I said. literally, and thank you for joining me. I believe that was Happy African. He said the available information is enough to eradicate ignorance. It's once it was once a choice on what to do with it, or it's just a choice on what to do with it. It's also say ignorance is definitely a choice. We have everything that we need right now if you want to relearn and learn. But thank you again, everybody, for joining me right away here on TikTok, also on BitChute, also on YouTube and Rumble. I saw Reparation. How you doing? And all the silence listener. My name is Iriton Longoria. We'll go ahead with another conversation in regards to a former U.S. military officer relocates and settles in Kenya. Let's find out why she moved to Kenya.
Charleston, South Carolina. I am originally from Charleston, South Carolina, of the Gullah Geechee culture. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia, but my family is from Charleston, South Carolina. The Gullah Geechee people were a group of people that landed in North America mainly through the transatlantic slave trade, who were able to cultivate and preserve our culture rooted in our African roots. We speak a form of Creole that's called Gullah or Geechee.
Keawa Kesho Simmons is a former military officer. She is widely traveled, but she chose to come to Nairobi.
I'm ex-military, and I did about 7.5 years of civilian contracting abroad. And I was working in Afghanistan, and I met my brother, James Mloasi. Shout out to my brother from Mombasa, Bamburi. And we just started talking about Kenya. And as an American or an African American, we've always dreamed about coming to the continent, or what we like to call the motherland. And so as I was talking to him and getting to know him, he's like telling me all these great things about Kenya. And I'm like, I'm going to go. He's like, no, you're not. I was like, yes, I am. And I went and bought my ticket. And I came up to him. I said, hey, I bought my ticket to Kenya. When we're going. He couldn't believe it. And we came August 2011, my first time to Kenya, to Mombasa, landed in Moi. And
That's amazing. I love this. I love hearing such stories of, of brothers and sisters in the diaspora coming back to the motherland. But really, I would love to know more details about this.
never turn back. I love Kenya. I always say that. My love story again started now almost 14 years ago, coming to Kenya, and as I always say, the people is what makes this country magical. And just interacting and being able to find people who believe in me, believe in my dream just as much as I do. I am the CEO and founder of Traverse Culture. We are a travel concierge company that specializes in humanitarian work, relocation assistance, business development, and now medical tourism inbound to Kenya.
Dua Mutharika is a lady of many nations. She is Malawian, but she was born in Ethiopia. She's also lived in South Africa as well as the United States.
I'm a Blantyre girl. I'm a Southern girl through and through. I'm also half Zimbabwean, my mother being Shona, but I was born in Ethiopia, so that makes me very Pan-African. My mother was Zimbabwean, my father being Malawian. They married in Zambia, and I was born in Ethiopia. This was the time before AU was AU. It was called the OAU. I spent my childhood in Ethiopia. Then I was in the UK at boarding school. And then as a teen, I went to the US and I stayed till my late 20s, moved back to Malawi, and then was in SA for a few years and now in Kenya. Our clientele kind of varied. Our first family was from Memphis, Tennessee, actually. And then we started getting clients from Europe. We started getting clients from moving from South Africa to here. We relocated a family from Nigeria to here. Being able to come to Africa as a Black American, there's a level of peace and freedom that you get when you land here. There's a level of feeling
She said peace and freedom because you're reconnecting to where you came from. I believe that peace and freedom, a form of identity, kind of like a feeling that you're literally home again.
Like you are finally home. While I am from America, I feel home. I feel a sense of belonging, and a sense of birthright to an
Hello, Strength. How are you doing? You're saying this is beautiful. I definitely agree with you.
extent. In 2019, my family did our DNA. I didn't know anything about it. My aunt get the DNA back, and she says, "Guess what? We actually came back Kenyan." I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
What?
And so we came back 27.7% Kenyan and of the Luo tribe.
Kenya started making sense. One of the things I like about Kenya is it's like in the top 5 for doing business. It's in the top 5 for digital nomads, of which I'm one. It's the ease, the safety. Everybody in my family has lived in Kenya at some point. My siblings went to Rift Valley Academy. The two middle ones, the oldest was in Nairobi Primary many years ago. My father did some stuff here. My mother came through here. My uncle did. So it looks like I was the last one to finally move. So it just felt like home.
My challenges have been very, very small, but I would say maybe, trying to work with local government has been a small challenge. Nothing crazy. I just understand the business culture. People here move pole pole. Americans, we move very fast. And so you just kind of have to adjust to the culture and the business culture.
Really? I think she's in Mombasa, right? Because in Nairobi, people move really fast. Maybe she's relocated in at the coast because at the coast people move pole pole, as she said, like pole pole at the coast. But in Nairobi, baby, people be moving and be running. I'm telling you.
And so you just kind of have to adjust to the culture and the business culture.
So that's the first thing that's going to have to happen. Because what we've got to understand with the global north is it's not just Americans who want to come back. It's Africans who want to come back as well. It's people in the diaspora who want to come back, who are either have roots in Africa that, they may have been born here and then sent to boarding school, whatever. They'd like to come home. But it's such a governments have not made it easy for them to come. And then on top of that, there's not ease of travel within Africa.
But we all can fall sick. And if you don't know if that country provides quality healthcare, that could be scary. And you don't have time to fly 20 hours back to the United States to get healthcare, or even to Dubai or India or Turkey, right? And so one of the things that we started was medical tourism, and implementing that through our relocation program.
That's it in regards to U.S. military officer relocates, settles back here in Kenya, all the way from South Carolina, and such an amazing story over there. Hopefully, we'll get her for an interview very soon. We'll see how that goes, but also get to another conversation before we wind up. Remember, I was talking about the fact that we had Natalie Yam singing or warning Africans, most importantly Kenyans and Tanzanians, like we should definitely beware that the one and only Mr. Macron will be coming to Kenya. And you know what they do actually when they try and move to an African country? They want to gain control, take over, program with their own agendas actually to develop their own country. But here again, because we are almost, that year is actually coming right now. And also we did have the president actually visiting France a few weeks, months ago. But I want us to remember the main agenda of why Mr. Macron will be coming to our country. Let's not be blindfolded by whatever activities they'll be doing. They'll be talking about we're bringing development, whatever they do. But we also do understand that we do not need any sense of health as an African nation. It's the other way around. We've never needed help, and all this organization, UN, name them, they've actually just been a cover up for what they actually do. So we do have Macron coming in the year 2026, and he's coming with an agenda to actually erode everything that we do have as a Kenyan culture, or as a Kenyan culture, or the African culture. Let me say that. But whatever is happening right now, we have to be aware. We have to be alert, because they'll use a lot of things to actually blindfold us. They will be using social media mainstream influencers to actually talk about the fact that they will fund maybe the youths in regards to whatever, maybe jobs opportunities, something to actually, like a scoop of ice on your tongue, or a scoop of ice cream on your tongue to make you feel like, oh my God, he's a good person. But honey, don't forget what actually France does when they actually invade a country. Let me use that word, invade a country. But let's listen in to the one and only Natalie Young.
Gina Languni, native. If you are from English-speaking Africa, this video is for you to grab a drink and take a seat. Just came in. The next France-Africa Summit will be held in Kenya in 2026, as announced by Emmanuel Macron and William Ruto on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in New York. I'm quickly making this video, and I'm doing it in English to warn my Kenyan brothers and sisters, as well as all of you in Southern and Eastern Africa. Beware, the French are coming to your countries. The France-Africa summits, which have been
I
held...
don't know why she's interpreting that, because I had a video where she was actually talking in English. Let me find that video again. Have they actually taken down that video? Don't tell me they've taken that video, because I'm not buying this AI girl talking the way she's talking, honestly. But let's listen in to her before I find the original video of Natalie Yam talking about Mr. Macron.
Held since 1973, first annually, then every 2 years, then every 3 years, 4 years, and now every 5 years have lost their relevance. France's traditional partners in Africa are either inaudible or have severed ties with a country that just can't shake off its colonial habits. Compared to other international meetings of the same kind like China-Africa, Russia-Africa, USA-Africa, or even Korea-Africa, France's summit looks pathetic. So for the 28th edition in 2021, Macron tried to reinvent the format by bringing in mostly insignificant young people to take over and breathe new life into France-Africa instead of the old discredited politicians. The result is a disaster. Everything he touches is doomed to fail. In 2026, he will try a new approach, relocating the event to an Anglophone country. With the most subservient president of the region, William Ruto of Kenya, the guy who had 40 young people killed during the Gen protests against his budget earlier this year. To lower the public, they will naturally highlight bogus themes like environment or climate change. Topics put on the global agenda by Westerners who fear nothing more than Africa fully tapping into its energy potential to become, alongside China, the low-cost manufacturing hub for the rest of the world. My dear people of Eastern Southern Africa, you need to know that Macron's France was kicked out of the Sahel, where it had been plundering resources for decades, if not centuries. Don't allow William Ruto to turn Kenya into a dumping ground for French waste rejected by West, Central, and even North Africa. Don't let Tanzania, Mozambique, or Angola become the next deployment sites for the mercenary disguised as the French army or the French media.
they disguise themselves as the military to come and protect us from terrorists, which is not it.
I particularly want to warn Tanzanians. The new French ambassadors to your country, Anne-Sophie Avenue, was previously responsible for spreading propaganda and misinformation for friends in Africa, threatening and targeting leaders like me or the heads of state of Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso who promote African sovereignty. If you don't know me, I am Emmanuel Macron's worst female nightmare. In 2019, he had me arrested in the French colony of Côte d'Ivoire and deported from Africa to Europe. Yes, you heard that right. Just like our ancestors were taken during the era of slavery. But instead of being thrown into the hold of a ship, I was put on an Air France plane in Abidjan and forcibly sent to Switzerland. In 2022, European media widely reported on the French government's decision to ban me from entering or staying in France. And all of this simply because I fight for Africa's liberation. The new French ambassador to Tanzania even tested before the French Parliament earlier this year about the strategies and tactics she uses to suppress the truth about friends in the countries where she operates. She will surround herself with artists and influencers, organize dinners and parties like Diddy, wear traditional attire and dance wherever and whenever she can. She will sponsor TV shows and even host them. Speak Swahili, pray local, sleep local, all to ensure she has an army of local people on social media who will do the dirty work of attacking Pan-African leaders or emancipation narratives and defend France's influence and domination at all costs. While she sits back and watches with delight as Africans fight each other for the sake of friends. She did it in Ghana, and I bet whatever you want that she has already started doing it in Tanzania. Let me know in the comment if I'm right or wrong. I also saw that France has recently approached Tanzania to discuss quote security cooperation, including establishing a boots on the ground presence in this critical region and quote beware barbarians at the gate. Dear friends, France has nothing good to offer you. Its track record in so-called Francophone Africa is disastrous. Financing terrorism and rebellions, killing hundreds of thousands of
Financing terrorism.
innocent people, sponsoring and perpetrating crimes, looting resources and maintaining poverty and corruption.
Looting resources, maintaining poverty, that's what they want. So all these meetings the president is doing with Macron is for all this agenda that Nathalie Young wonders about, because that's their main agenda, to actually impoverish Africa. They're now in Tanzania, but right now they're coming to Kenya to do the same thing. As she said, wherever the friends go, nothing good comes out of it. So we have to beware because he's coming. He's coming to Kenya, but we'll be winding up with that. Time has gone really fast, but thank you everybody for joining me right away today on YouTube, Rumble, and BitChute. Also on TikTok, thank you so much for everybody who joined me. Thank you for the ones who were commenting and joining the conversation. Reparation, thank you. I've seen you. Strength, thank you for joining me. My name is Iraton Lunguria, always talking about redefining conversation because we have to redefine ourselves as we redefine Africa. And today's conversation was ignorance is a choice in this time and age. I'm sending you so much love and light, but also remember download our app on the Google Play Store, stream on www.blackhotfirenetwork.com for amazing healthy supplements, upper clothing with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. Get yourself some hoodies, beanie hats, sandals like that hats with the Black Hot Fire Radio logo on it. On the side of the supplements, get yourself some beetroot. Remember, it helps you to actually get your low blood pressure on the low, right? Also, you can also get your multivitamin ashwagandha, a cool cucumber for the ladies, and shea butter if you're on that hair growth journey. But before I wind up, Let's listen in to the health and benefits of Brain Focus.
Unlock your full potential with Brain and Focus, a powerful supplement designed to boost mental clarity, enhance memory, and sharpen concentration. Made from a blend of scientifically proven ingredients like ginkgo biloba, omega-3, and essential vitamins, Brain and Focus is crafted to fuel your mind. Our process ensures maximum potency and effectiveness, delivering the perfect balance of brain-boosting nutrients. Take just one capsule daily, as prescribed by your healthcare provider, and feel the difference. Whether it's powering through your workday or staying sharp in life's challenges, Brain and Focus keeps you at the top of your game. Stay sharp, stay focused, and stay ahead with Brain and Focus. Brain and Focus, fuel your mind, achieve more. Go get this product at blackhotfirenetwork.com at the Sports and Nutrition Store.
Super affordable part. Also get yourself some pictures for only $20.90. Thank you so much for the ones who stayed up with me. We'll see you on the next show. But remember, you are the change you need to see in the world. Take care, and I'm sending you so much love and love. And light. Love and light. Love and love. But bye, guys. Have a good time.
Greetings and salutations, everyone. Here is Andrew Robinson, your Jamaican brother, all the way in Switzerland. And I'm reaching out to all of our brothers and sisters on the African continent. You're tuning into Black Hot Fire Radio, and you're listening to...
You're now listening to the best music.
Feel the freshness.
1 hour of the hottest tracks and coolest mashups of the moment.
The hits. Feel the freshness.